Okay, this is a little mini lecture of the geology of Santorini, Greece. So the island of Santorini, also known as Thera, is located roughly here. It's between the African plate and the Eurasian plate. There have been several volcanic explosions that have erupted in the past thousands of years, and volcanism is created from the subduction of the Aegean plate and the African plate. So this little plate right here is the Aegean plate between the Eurasian plate and the African plate. And as a result, we have a shield volcano and followed by a caldera collapse. So that's what makes up the island of Santorini. So here's a graphical representation of what that looks like. This is the island of Santorini. So you can see here that this is the caldera, and basically underneath the surface here is where we have the African plate subducting underneath the Aegean plate. And this is where we have magma coming up into a chamber. And this is the location of the volcano that's actually still active today. So the last explosion was around 4,000 years ago. And records indicate that it was one of the largest volcanoes in recorded history, 4 times the size of Krakatoa. There was a 30 to 35 kilometer eruption column into the stratosphere, and the magma underlying the volcano came into contact with the shallow marine, resulting in blasts to create tuff and tephra. There were also basalt flows and lahar floods. Records indicate that the blast darkened the skies for months and covered the island in pumice and ash, destroying most of the buildings and the villages that were on the island. The caldera collapsed on the southern side of the island, and folklore suggests that that's where Atlantis was lost during this collapse. So if we go back to this picture, this is the collapsed portion of the caldera. So I had a chance to go visit Santorini. This is again an island off of near Athens in Greece. And where the star is located was the view from my Airbnb. Humble brag here that I had this beautiful view of the caldera, and all the buildings around here are white. So you may see some really beautiful images of Greece, and that's because these buildings are carved basically into the side of the caldera, and the white originally is from the pumice eruption, and so now they're painted white, but there's still quite a bit of light pumice on the side of the caldera. So we can see here that the pumice, this is from the large eruption from around 4,000 years ago. It's not totally white. Again, these buildings are painted white, but originally they're significantly lighter in color, and so these homes were carved into kind of like made these little caves into the side of the caldera. Further down on the slope of the caldera, we can see that it changes into this reddish color, and this is a result of a basaltic and andesitic flow from around 400,000 years ago. So there's been a few eruptions since then. And so we took a boat from the old town of Fira into basically where the active volcano currently is. And so this is where I'm standing, right here on the crater, basically. And here's a little seismometer. So this seismometer is solar powered, and it's basically reading any ground movement that might be going on because this volcano is still active. Just standing here, you can smell the sulfur. It smells like boiled eggs, and you can see steam coming out. It's not captured very well in this picture, but you can tell that it's definitely active. So now looking a little bit, south, looking to where this little piece of land is, that's looking at the view of the new crater. So of course the plates are moving and things are adjusting. And so this is the location of the new crater. Along the way, you can see how dark all of the ground is, and you can see that this is a lot of basalt. These are huge amounts of blocky basalt everywhere. And so we took the boat just around the other side, and this is where We went into a little cove and we could swim in some naturally heated water of the new crater. And you can see that it's quite a yellowish green color, and that's because of all the sulfur and the natural minerals that are present here. And so volcanoes are cool, but not as cool as me. So now for the rest of my life, I'm going to try to recreate this picture of me jumping at every volcano I go to. So I hope you enjoyed that presentation.